Hi, welcome to another 1 minute distraction screencast. Today we are going to look at presence support in the Wopal framework. So if you recall, in the last screencast, we have added support for disco info and disco items in our customer query component. So using Pigeon's discovery XMPP discovery tool, we are able to discover that in order to query our customer database for our customer query component, what we need to do is this: we need to send a message to query at customer.batcomputer. So this is what disco info and disco item allows us to do. So the next logical step is to add query at customer.batcomputer into our XMPP roster. So in this case, what we need is presence support. So what presence support gives us is it allows us, first of all, to subscribe to a Jabber entity. It allows that particular entity to tell us of its availability, and also to push other information out like status. So how do we add support for our component? So this is what happens. So assuming we have got a user on my left hand side called Fred at batcomputer/pigeon, which is the resource, and we are going to subscribe to query at customer.batcomputer. So what we need to do, the first thing is Fred will send a presence message to batcomputer, and the type of that message is subscribe. So telling query that we want to subscribe to you. So once query receives this message, then query will probably determine whether we should allow Fred to subscribe to us or not. So assuming that query decides to allow Fred to subscribe to it, then what query will do is query will return a presence message with the type subscribed, indicating that they have subscribed. Now in this case, what query will most probably also do is that query will also probably send another presence message to Fred with the type subscribe, and Fred will return the message will return the presence message with subscribe. So this is a normal two-way subscription, and this happens to most of the Jabber users. But in this particular case, what we are doing is this: because query is a bot, query is not really interested in Fred's presence. So what we are doing is this: we are just sending a one-way subscription. So once we are subscribed, Fred can now find out about a little bit about query. So for example, Fred could send a probe message to query, and query may say, I'm available now for chat, and query can also have a little status, a little message that says it's not doing much or whatever. So let's see how we add this presence support to our customer query. So let me just close my my presentation first, and okay, so this is our the state of our application, if you recall. So this was the last class that we have added for, and we added support for query for disco info and disco items. So now what we are going to do is this: we are going to create a new class, and we're going to call it presence handler to support presence. So since we are using CDI, we are going to add support. We're going to put it under control of CDI request scope. So as you may probably have guessed, to support presence, we are going to add presence in here. Okay, and also because we only want to handle presence for query, so we put another discriminator here called to, and we are going to say we are only going to handle presence messages directed at query. Okay, so subdomain. Okay, so now that we have set up the class, the first interaction that we're going to support is a subscribe. So to do that, what we do is we annotate it with presence type, and the type is going to be a subscribe type, like that. Okay, so I need to org xmpp packet presence, like that. Okay, and I'll create a method which returns an object, and we call it handle subscribe. Okay, like that, and we just return this type, the subscribe type. Okay, in this case we may also probably want to find out about, oops, there is a, okay, okay, that will keep it up, presence type. Okay, so just do that. Okay, so in this case, if you like to find out about, who are we subscribing, who is requesting the subscribe, you may want to annotate it with from. Okay, we get the JID, okay, and do something with it. Okay, so you may want to save from, but since this is a demo, we are not going to do anything with it. So that's the first interaction. Now the second interaction that we are going to do is this: we're going to handle a probe. So what we're going to do is we're going to say probe. Okay, and we're going to, in a probe, we're going to return a list of things. We're going to tell them, about our status, whether we are available for chat or not. Maybe we want to return to them a short little status message, and also maybe a priority. So we're going to return a list of things. So we say we're going to return a list of items, handle probe. Okay, and we create the result list, which is a linked list. It can be anything, linked list and result. Actually, it doesn't have to return a list. You can also return a collection of things. Okay, but in this case, I'm just being a little bit specific. So the first thing we want to do is result add. We want to add that we are available to chat. So packet presence and type, show, which is we are available for chat. And maybe the second thing that we want to add is a text telling people how to use how to send a query. So in this case, maybe please type in the customer customer ID in this case. And just for good measure, we're going to add a priority, right? So anything lower than 0, I think the priority, the presence information will not be routed to the query, to the person who is doing the query. So this is our two of our handlers. So the first one is to handle subscribe. The second is to handle a probe. Of course, there are other things like unsubscribe, and stuff like that. But we are not going to be bothered with that here. So let's clean and build the application. Okay, and we are now going to deploy the application like that. So as you can see, while it's being deployed, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open the tool again, the XMPP Service Discovery tool. Okay, and what we are going to do is this. We are going to now query. We're going to repeat what we did the last time. We're going to query back computer. So we have found customer back computer, and we're going to look at that, and hopefully that will return me query at customer.backcomputer. So all this we have done in the previous screencast. So now what we're going to do is this. We're going to add this to our roster over here. So we go add. Okay. So customer. I'm not going to have any alias, and I'm just going to put it in best friends. Okay. So once I add the query, okay, that message should come on. So we see that the query has already been added to our to our roster. So now it has come online. So what we can do is this: we can send query a message, a query. So for example, type 2, and it should behave as before. So you can see Eclipse link coming up, and now we've got our customer ID. So hopefully with the addition of support for presence, now all the 3 major XMPP messages has been supported. There are other things that I would like to talk about. In my next screencast, I will talk about data form support, which is very important in XMPP message interaction. Okay, so till next time, thank you very much.